the next prompt is tape roll. I have one photo, but I thought it would actually be cool to do something completely different. What if we did a real tape roll? Okay, so I'm really excited to have this because it means we can do a tape roll with some really great abstract pieces. I already see some that I'm definitely excited for. And I even have this tissue paper I was thinking I could put along the back just to fill in any gaps. That way there's like some consistency through it. We'll see where we get, but I have a couple ideas of what to do with the tape after, just so it's not in a roll. Okay, so let's start with some fresh tape. I think some of this kind of got ruined. I'll start there. So this is an A3, which is the exact size of the scanner. So I figure if I make one that is this long, put the tape on it, then that gives us an option to use it there. I'm really excited by the idea of doing something 3D. It's something that I've wanted to do for quite a long time and haven't really found the way to like work it into my practice. So I'm hoping that this kind of provides some sort of way of me getting into that. Because you never really know like how to do it. Sometimes I feel like there's so many ways to do things. And I think that like where we're going with this is I'm trying to tell a story, but I'm not sure what that story is quite yet. I kind of am thinking about the comic strip prompt. I think that there's some fun things still there from it that I didn't really get to. So yeah, let's see what we got in here. I got some great pieces, to be honest. This is a good scrap bin. I think originally I was picturing this being this way where it goes down, but I'm now thinking like what if it went side to side like a timeline? I think that could be really cool. I think to make that easier, I can basically lay it out this way. I might flip this actually and do it the long way, and then just have like a couple bars of it. That way we can have like a long one to take a video of where I'm pulling it, but then also I think for after could be really cool to frame it with like multiple layers. I want this to be like about life and stuff, and as soon as I saw these fish and I saw this, I knew that that was a good piece. Like, my fish are dead. I could have them upside down. And I just want these kind of like simple life moments to come out. And I think this is a funny thing to say, but I feel like I have a lot of pieces that could match with the idea of like the male experience. Like I have this, like him looking at shoes, I think could be one. Him in his car. Got a male shoe, men with meat. This one like looks like he's going to work. And even just like this hand is kind of cool with the fire sparks and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try to make that into something. Okay, so the concept of these are kind of like, these are the kids, they're watching this old guy and there's cartoons here. And then they talk about like tires and male things kind of within a home. I'm trying to think if I can find something else that kind of works for that. And then you have this feminine energy, this motherly figure kind of trying to shape them. And I kind of got the idea of like love as well, like why do this kind of thing. And settling into a house together was kind of the idea behind this. I feel like I need like one more piece to make it like romantic though. And then I obviously have the my fish are dead one. I kind of want it to be the next one of like, maybe this is where like loneliness happens, and then you have like a house plant and fish, and it's potentially just like trying to fill the void of that. But then I also have this idea of like the male experience of consumerism, where we have like shoes and cars and just random crap, I guess. So I don't know if it's making any sense. I like it. Also found more fish market ones, and they kind of have this red tone like all the other pieces for it, so it's perfect. I want to be too literal, but I feel like I'm too far away from it, so I'm just gonna put like be sure at the beginning. I found this photo of like a woman and a man with a candle in front of their face. I feel like this kind of goes in with this. I don't know if this is too literal either, but I could cut this out like here. And like tuck it behind into this, I feel like. Also making this like way too wide, I'm realizing. Like this is only what it's gonna be, so I need to like squish it down. I wish I had thicker tape, but I just don't. You know what, both of these are almost like perfectly two, so I could go back and do it double on each one is definitely a possibility. Is that crazy? With all of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and tape it all down. I'm really scared. So I had this shift, unfortunately, but it kind of opens this up to add something in there, I guess. Okay, and now I'd like to try to like combine them all just briefly. And I think it might work pretty well. I'm not going to be shy about the mess. As you can see, I barely have a studio together. There's just boxes everywhere. But we gotta create. Fang has come to join us for creating. Let me start by saying it is so nice to have a big desk back, and this room is echoey, I'm sorry. I haven't been able to put actual furniture in, but today we're doing Dive. I'm actually really excited for this one. I had a lot of great pieces, and you know, I kind of honestly have been working on the video for week 1 all day. So I'm kind of a little behind, and it's kind of a gloomy day, so I'm sorry about the lighting. I was really excited for this one. Okay, so I really love this photo. I think it's a great photo. I could even just cut him out and it would be great, or we can bring things into it. We've got this amazing abstract piece. I love repetition, and I think that it is honestly really a cool image. What could you do for this? I'm not sure, I guess. That's where I'm a little bit struggling. We have this where it's like a lady upside down doing acrobats. Honestly, this is a beautiful collage as it is. They have this like New York Stock Exchange behind it. I'm wondering what it was even for, but very cool. But I was thinking this underwater would be kind of cool. It's like, again, synchronized swimming. So funny, we have 2 synchronized swimming things going on. This for Dive. I mean, this is just so literal and honestly a very beautiful photo. Again, we have a woman jumping. I was thinking we could put like aquatic fish or like an entire ecosystem in. I think this, I was thinking the hand could like grab someone like this, I guess. We also have this beautiful image. This is a great background image. It's got this really nice water texture to it. And then we have these guys kind of fishing out in the middle. Okay, we've got some great ideas now, and I'm really happy I found this photo because I wanted to use it for so long, and now I'm just remembering it. I think this table is perfect and ripe for a little bit of parody. I think this one too, we could cut her out and have like them floating above if we want to have like fishies. This piece I've wanted to use for so many years, I feel like, and I think we could potentially have like things going on in it with the dive stuff. We could have fishies floating around in a car in front of a toaster. I think she's just kind of funny. I was thinking too, I found this photo of salmon. You could have like cars on top of salmon. I don't know if that's weird. I don't know. We're thinking all over the place. And then I found this photo, which I think is great as like a background potentially for this one or any other ones, or even just adding a little highway in front of it could work. So this one's really saving me. I also love this photo. I have no idea how I'm going to use it though, but I think if this was like an under the water sea thing, I think that could really work really well. Then I had the idea of just doing like a plain kitchen. She looks like she's just like looking down, having a good time. And then you just have like all these like sharks going around it could work. I also thought that this one, we were gonna use it for jelly, didn't use it. But this almost looks like the bottom of a fish tank, so that could be a work of, could picture the table and like this guy, like his flipper hanging out of this table almost, and then having this like underneath it. So it's like you don't even know, like the almost like the tip of the iceberg kind of situation could work. Or we could just have like the hand pulling up the fish. So it's just kind of like, how are these going to possibly all meld together? And then I found this one, I remembered. I'm like, maybe the tail comes out of the table and then it's green behind, but then it becomes blue below. I don't know. I think it might work. I've never done anything like this, but again, Fabulage is for trying new things. So why don't we try that? I'm gonna start by cutting this piece out, which I was a little apprehensive to do just because there already is blue in the background. Just by cutting that out, I actually really like these greens with this, but then I'm just so silly. I don't know why I didn't think of this, but I have the book, this collage kit, and it has tons of different animals and stuff. So I wonder if I can kind of like pull from this and see if I can like make a piece from it. I'm definitely feeling a little bit uninspired by this one, although I thought I was really excited. I just like feel like I don't have the pieces that I would like. Like I would love to be able to just like go through tons of books right now, and I feel like a National Geographic would be great. And although I moved into the place that has the boxes, they are very deep under like 100 other boxes. So just gonna have to do with this. I feel like one thing I always tell myself, and I feel like is great for anyone doing Fabulage, is just try. Like if you're scared to like ruin the papers, I have a scanner, and so I will scan those pieces. But for the most part, it's like, you know what, if something doesn't work out, you can get another piece, you can do it again, you know? And I think that this is kind of like the perfect opportunity to try new things and try no matter what, because we gotta do one a day. If this does work, it's gonna be an awfully long piece, but I'm excited to see what happens. Okay. I think that works, to be honest. Like I can cut this a little bit, I think all the way down, honestly. And I think from this angle, like the hand would get cut off here, like it almost doesn't make sense. And I wonder if I can replace this with like a little fish or something. Okay, so I might actually glue this just because I literally can't like
picture how this is supposed to go when this comes in. Like I don't want there to be like a straight line across it, but I'm wondering, like we have these plants here and maybe like I could digitally do it. I know I'm trying not to do digital, but I keep doing it. But I'm wondering if I could put like kelp or something here, and that would just kind of help like blend in the cross between the dark green and the blue. Okay, yeah, and then I think I'm gonna cut out most of these plants. I think a couple around the edges is good, but I think like if I can go like this and just like keep a couple and then have like algae coming in behind it, that would be the best. So for now, I'm just gonna put a little bit along here. And this is always the tricky part with something like this, because now her head is gonna be like a little bit harder to glue. I could go a little closer just to fill this in, but I think that that's pretty good. And I have this little piece of plant that we have from the other side, and I wonder if we could just tuck it in like that. I kind of like it. I also just found this bad boy in storage, and there's tons of fish in here. I think this is a great resource for fish for sure. Yeah, we have a lot of things going on. There's a lot of octopus, and I think that these could be really helpful in making something look a little bit more integrated, like shells. And we have like these types of plants. I was kind of worried I wouldn't find aquatic plants, but here we are. I feel like this is gonna work really well. So we can give some of these a try perhaps. But there's so many, I don't know how to decide. I found this little starfish, I'm gonna cut it out, and I think that this kind of works. I don't know if you guys have been to an aquarium with kids, but a lot of them have these sections where you can do like a petting zoo basically, which is a weird concept for aquatic animals, but you can kind of put your hands in and feel them. And one of the ones I've seen many times is the starfish. And so I wonder if this is gonna end up looking like one of those like waiting tables, I guess they call them, like waiting pool tables, where the kids can reach in and grab them, but then there's like this gigantic shark behind coming out of it, and one coming out of the top as well. Like there's just a lot going on. The world is changing ever so quickly, and these are all AI generated, and I think that this one has the right coloring. It obviously is like way too perfect, but I think I can like bring down the contrast in colors. And like the pink might be like nice to match her shirt and the green in the background. Okay, well, I gotta express how happy I am to have serendipitously done old, because look, there's absolutely nothing in this pile. So I'm glad that we were able to do that earlier in the challenge. And it also helps me because I still have like a very messy studio right now, that we can move on to vinyl and then have a day to clean up or try something else for a different prompt. Okay, so the direction I wanted to go for this one was like a vinyl record, I think. I'm not sure if other people are gonna go for like the plasticky, like vinyl texture could be really cool. This one in particular, I'm very drawn to. I think that we could do cutting this out, or even like cutting it to here and having people like dancing on it. I feel like is like exactly what I'd want to do if I can. I have these two people. They're kind of fun. I could see them being on here, but obviously this is like a totally different style. This one's like a photograph and this one's like a lithograph or something. Yeah, but I have a lot of different ones here. And I even have these little guys. They're so cute. It's simply breathtaking. So these guys doing a little dance on the CD I think could be cute. And I think that that could go on something smaller. I think this one is bigger, obviously. but I worry that these guys are too big. I mean, I could take out the piano and just have them on it. But yeah, again, the photos are a little bit different. I can try to make it work. This one's smaller. I'm gonna do more like this or something, but I don't think it's a great piece. And then I have this one. This photo I think is very strong and bold and pretty. I'm just trying to figure out, like, someone would have to go here. I feel like a little ballerina or something would be perfect, like a music box or something. So let's head over to the other pile and see what we got. Instead of looking at my big book, I decided to look at my people one, and look at her. Like, I feel like she could be on the record pretty easily, like the black and white one. Like, she's the perfect size, and I kind of like the idea of doing a fully black and white one. So like here, and her sitting on it, I think is perfect. I could also see this being a piece. This guy could be kneeling next to them, and then they're like planting this like cactus in it. And I feel like this could represent like how, like, I feel like older generations always want to put like the music of their generation onto kids and stuff. Like, I grew up listening to so much rock and roll because of my parents. So that could work as like a secondary piece. These guys would be like perfect if they were smaller. Like something like this, I could just picture them right on that. I could scan them in and try it. I just cut this off to see kind of closer up what it would look like. And on the back are these dancers. They're like perfect. $1 Billion Baby. I feel like they would go perfectly on it. So now I'm like, ooh. I get so mad at myself when I make these mistakes of not looking first. All that happened was I pulled it away and I was like, oh my God, those look like dancing shoes. And sure enough, they are. What about the idea of like having all of these people on the CD as well? It's kind of like, you know, a dance or something. I'm thinking like I want to be able to do this one because it has the most, but I'm wondering if like this one is kind of funny. It's got like these like pilots and like random people and fur coats and stuff. To be like on the dance floor, and then we could do like something up here. Maybe I could find like a nice like 60s retro disco-y background. Could be kind of fun. I know the prompt is vinyl, but I feel like that kind of ties into musical. And I have this one, which I've had for a long time. I was almost debating framing it because I think it's very interesting, but I feel like this on top of this with like legs and stuff might actually work. Okay, I kind of love this. I didn't think I would because it's so simple, but look at them in there. It's so romantic. I don't love the text being there, so I was wondering if I make it a little smaller, like this. I think that still works. Like, I like having the edge here. I think like that still works, yeah? Or I kind of like the bigger one, to be honest. I'm just gonna try to erase this. Maybe if I leave it big, maybe we need like spectator heads here or something. Sad I found this the next day, but this would have been perfect for Dive. Hey, I'm shocked at how little I have, but I guess the back of the heads aren't really popular, but I feel like these two people here, I know it's cut off slightly, but that could be against the wall. And this one is a person kissing a seal, but I wonder if we just like take off the seal and have them. It is a digital collage after all, so we can kind of manipulate and play with it. And her hand's out. I feel like she could be like wrapped around this person. So it'll be like a 3-person audience. Okay, so I'm still testing out this printer, but I like the quality so far. Let's give it a go. Just for fun, I typed in crowd looking over vintage photo style to get a crowd, and this is what the AI did, which I actually think this one might work. It's kind of cute. It looks like a bunch of kids watching like their parents dance at night, or this one is like a bunch of guys looking up at them, or this one's just like more of a general crowd. But I think this one actually works really well. So I saw this photo online and I was like, that looks pretty cool, and I really like it here, but now I don't like the background. On this photo, I think it'll work well because it has like the blacks in it as well, but it's kind of cool because you can pick kind of who gets the highlight on them. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, probably this one makes sense. Or we like lower it and then they're like in the middle. Yeah, there's lots of interpretations to do here. Okay, these aren't my favorite pieces, but they're definitely done. So, I mean, that works. Even though this prompt is done for now, I do have a feeling that this is something I'd want to try again. I think if I keep looking and find more vinyl records, I could definitely make a couple more pieces with people dancing on them. I think it's so cute. So that's it for this February video. I hope you really enjoyed watching. I think many of these are going to become prints, so keep an eye out for those when they come out. Subscribe and like this video if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week. Bye!